You ever wonder how Georges St-Pierre was able to make it look easy taking down D1 All-Americans despite not coming from a wrestling background? It wasn't his athleticism, it wasn't luck, it was a system. A striking integrated timing-based MMA adapted blueprint for taking anyone down. And once you understand it, you can start doing the same. Today, I'm going to break down the full system with all the key details most people miss so you can start doing the same. Let's go. First, we have an overall strategy. The system begins with a simple trap, the jab shot dilemma. We want to frustrate our opponent by using our longest weapons, the jab and our kicks. That creates pressure, and pressure forces decisions. When they react, they really only get two options. One, they retaliate, they step into counter, and that's our cue to shoot reactively. And we don't time the strike, we time the step. Just as they're setting their weight on the stepping foot, that's the moment they're vulnerable. They can't sprawl as they're planting their weight on that foot. The second option is that they react to the strike. If they shell up, we go underneath. If they retreat, we cut the cage and shoot a proactive entry near the fence. Either way, the decision's theirs, but the outcome, that's ours. In addition to the overall strategy, we also have what I'm going to call 7 golden rules. Number 1 is distance management. When possible, we always want to fight at a range where the opponent has to step in order to hit us. That gives us 1, time to read, and 2, the ability to time the entry exactly. Again, the key is not to focus on the strike, it's to focus on the footwork. Hey, if you're getting value from this, do me a massive favor. Take 2 seconds, drop below the video and hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It's hands down the best way to support the channel and it'll make sure you don't miss my next video. All right, let's get back to it. Number 2, force predictability. We use our striking to force reactions. They advance recklessly, we go reactive. They shell up, we level change or clinch. They retreat, we cut the cage and corner the opponent. Predictability creates control, and that's core to this. Number 3 is to realize that the cage is a limiter for the opponent. It's not just a surface, it's a trap. They've got less room to sprawl, lateral movement's limited, and they've got almost no ability to scramble. Once their back hits the wall, we dictate everything. Getting the opponents back to the cage is a great time to use a proactive entry, which we'll cover later. Number 4 is adaptive finishes. Entries don't guarantee finishes. Our job is to solve the reaction in real time. If they sprawl hard, we cut the corner. If their weight's on us, we run the pipe. Remember, we don't chase the same finish, we read the response and adapt accordingly. Number 5, clinch with purpose. The clinch is not a stalling position, it's a threat. We use it with purpose, either as a striking threat, a takedown threat, or a positional threat. Number 6, shoot boxing. This ain't folk style, there's a reason not everybody makes the transition as seamlessly. You're not shooting off of tie-ups, you're shooting off of feints, reactions, and striking patterns. We have to get used to covering a greater distance on entry as well. We've got to adapt techniques to the specific sport. And number 7, every takedown leads somewhere. The takedown isn't the end, it's the beginning. We don't shoot to stall, we shoot to advance, damage, and finish. There's 2 areas to cover when it comes to takedowns from the feet, either from the open or from against the cage. The majority of our time today is going to be spent on takedowns from the open, but we'll briefly touch on cage takedowns. So from the open, we've got 2 types of entries we can use. Reactive entries. These are our counters. We shoot because of what the opponent does. Again, our focus is always on timing the step, not the strike itself, because that limits the chance of them defending properly. The other is proactive entries, where we initiate after creating an opening with our own strikes. Again, cage awareness is useful here because near the fence, the opponent has less opportunity to retreat, less room to sprawl, and less room to scramble. We also have 3 primary leg attack options: the double leg, the head inside single, and the head outside single. The double leg controls both legs, but without locked hands often leads to a less stable grip if we can't penetrate deep enough. We have the basic driving finish, where we drive our opponent over the trapped legs. If our opponent sprawls heavily, we can cut the corner, and if our opponent hips in and pulls up on the overhook to try and posture us back up, we can transition to the knee pick. The head inside single offers a little more safety from submission threat, but with the head being on the inside opens us up to each strikes. When the opponent whizzers and puts weight on us, we can run the pipe. The main thing is to not get stuck on a head inside single. George would often transition immediately to a head outside, even after entering on the head inside. With the head outside single, we're a little safer from the striking threat, but we're more open to the submission threat. From the head outside single, if the opponent puts their weight on us, we can step back and snap the leg between our legs for the dump finish. Or if the opponent moves their weight away from us, we can switch to the double and either run it or step across the lift. All right, so what about takedowns from the clinch? We can create a dilemma from the over-under position between the knee pick and the harai goshi, which is a judo throw. If the opponent is trying to create space and starts backing their hips out, we drive the underhook across their body, drop elevation, catch the far knee, and drive them over that post. If the opponent's upright and pressuring their hips into us, we step our lead foot across to the side opposite our underhook. We hit a replacement step with the rear leg and begin to do a couple things at once. We bump our hips up and into the opponent, using the underhook to pull them across our own hips, and use the outside leg to reap their leg for the throw. All right, so what about takedowns from the cage? So unlike Khabib or Khamzat, who we covered in my previous video, George didn't really use the cage as a finishing weapon as much as an entry weapon. In fact, as you can see, most of the finishes you see George employ along the fence involved first moving his opponents away from the wall before employing a driving, dump, or running the pipe finish. It's important to utilize your strengths, and if the wall isn't one of them, there's nothing wrong with moving the opponent away from the fence to finish in the open to open up your jiu-jitsu game. All right, we covered a lot, but here's the fact. At the highest level, details win fights. George didn't import wrestling. He rebuilt it for MMA, and you can do the same. So watch this back, drill the setups, and start building your shootboxing system. The only question is, are you gonna implement this or keep doing the same thing? Drop a comment below and let me know if you're gonna add this to your arsenal, and then get to work. All right, that's it for this one. If it helped, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Got a question or something you want me to cover? Drop me a line below. I read every comment. I love hearing from you guys. But for now, good luck training, and I'll see you in the next one.